What's up, everybody? You are very welcome along to Monday night's late night agenda. I'm your host Craig, and as always, you're all very, very welcome along to the show. Well, we've got a lot to get through tonight, ladies and gents. The FIFA Best Awards were out. I'm sure you guys have seen the results. We'll go through them as well. We'll go through the game against Chelsea yesterday. We'll go through all the latest Liverpool news. Everything that you guys want to talk about. As always, ladies and gentlemen, this is your show, so I want you guys to let me know the topics that you want to talk about. As we start, let me just lower down my mic volume a bit. I feel like it's a little bit loud. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better for everybody. I don't want to sound like I'm screaming, because quite frankly I do that quite enough anyway, don't I? So let me just sort that mic out and we will get going. Right, how are we, everybody? How does everybody feel about those awards? We'll go through them one by one, of course. A lot of angry reds, I suppose. But look, it's important that we don't just sound bitter here. And you know I'm talking about the main award. I know we'll get to that as well, one by one. Joe Cullen said, "Hey Craig, VVD got robbed." Subi, everybody else, how are you? Welcome back. It's great to be back. I tell you what, I've missed you guys. We did the stream yesterday for the Chelsea game. We did the post-match show, but you guys know I love the late night agenda. So how the hell are you? What else we got? Got robbed. Get some hair, you bald prat. Here come the Messi fanboys in already. Got robbed. Get some hair, you bald twat. Prat. Sorry, you said prat. You said bold, by the way, mate. So, like, as is the norm with idiots like you who come in to troll. You can't spell for fuck, so it's bald, mate, not bold. Although it could be quite bold as well. It could be quite bold. So can somebody get rid of Mashroor there for me, because there's going to be a lot of Messi fanboys coming in here, and this is where the mods need to earn their money. So bear with me 2 seconds. I'll remove it myself. Let me just go 1 second. Okay. Got robbed. Yes, he did get robbed. I believe he got robbed. That's my opinion on it. Now look, let me caveat this, because I want to be fair about all of this. So let's start with the main awards tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Lionel Messi won the FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year award. Now, as I said, let me caveat this firstly by saying I have nothing but respect for Lionel Messi as a footballer. I've said time and time and time again that Lionel Messi is the greatest player of our generation, perhaps of all time. I'm not a Messi hater, far from it. I do nothing but big up the guy. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's one of my idols in the game, as I'm sure many other people around the world. But this isn't about what you've done in the past. This award was about what happened in the previous season. And look, it sounds like bitterness from Liverpool fans, and maybe it is a little bit. Maybe we've got to be frank and honest about this. Maybe it is a little bit of bitterness. It's 1-1 as we stand. 1 award for Messi, 1 award for Van Dijk, and we move on to the Ballon d'Or, and we'll see who gets the Ballon d'Or as the best player of the world. This isn't about me coming on here, or you guys coming on here to say that Lionel Messi isn't a wonderful footballer. Of course he is. Nobody's trying to say that. But Virgil van Dijk was the outstanding player of last season, in my opinion, in many Liverpool fans' opinions, in many non-Liverpool fans' opinions. But we have to respect the award, and the award was given to Lionel Messi. So, congratulations to Lionel Messi on that award. I know that this won't matter to the Messi fanboys that just see the title come in, call me a bald twat, call me everything under the sun, and don't actually listen to what's being said on the stream. But hey, you got to put up with that shit. That's what YouTube's about. How does everybody else feel about it? We'll start with the main award and we'll work backwards from there. So how does everybody else feel about it? No, the Ballon d'Or hasn't been announced yet, Crypto Gaming. Today was the FIFA Best Men's Award, the FIFA Best Team of the Year, the FIFA Best Women's Player, FIFA Best Coach. All the FIFA Best Awards were today. You're damn right, Craig said Soldier won. They only gave it to Messi because the Messi fans would all complain about him not winning a trophy. Look, I don't know how Messi won the award. I'm not begrudging him the award. All I'm saying is I feel, personally, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same, that Virgil van Dijk should have won that award and deserved that award. That doesn't mean we don't like Messi. That doesn't mean Messi isn't a great player. LFC Gamer said Messi's overrated, stays in the Farmers League, never won an international trophy, can't win the Champions League without Xavi and Iniesta. I think the Ballon d'Or is around January, said somebody else, I missed who that was. VVD deserved it by far, said Casper. Alex Redo says VVD can use this as motivation to do better this season. I love your streams, but don't listen to the Messi fanboys. You look good bald. Thank you, Jake. I've no choice but to be bald, to be fair. I mean, I could grow hair, but I just, there'd be bits missing. So I'm going with the full bald. I've gone balls out and gone fully bald, and why not? And I don't listen to any of the haters, mate. I never have and I never will. Dave from LFC Chats, Dave's LFC Chats is in. How are you, buddy? Great to see you as well. La Liga is not a Farmers League, said LFC 1892, and I agree, it isn't a Farmers League. La Liga is a very good league, and I don't think that the fact that Lionel Messi has stayed at Barcelona is disparaging towards him in any way at all. I think he just loves the club and he loves being there, and that's alright. I know some people like to use the argument that perhaps they rate Ronaldo more because he did it in the Premier League, he did it in Italy, he's done it in Spain. I personally think Lionel Messi is the greatest player of a generation. I've said this time and time and time again. But that doesn't mean he deserves to win something every year. Ronaldo deserved to win many Ballon d'Ors when he won them as well. I just feel it should have been Van Dijk's. But look, it is what it is. It's 1-1. And we'll move on to the Ballon d'Or on that one. Again, ladies and gents, keep your comments coming on the main award. We will get to the other awards because we have some good news for Liverpool in those awards. Looks like Liverpool are going to get the massive Nike contract. Yes, Peter van der Schans. There are a few stories going around as well that looks like Liverpool will be going with Nike. And figures being mentioned seems to be over 75 million a season, which is crazy. Hey Craig, did you hear Jim Gaffigan got given the freedom of Dublin City? I didn't, Ella, but that is a wonderful story as well. Keep the good news coming, I love it. VVD deserved it, he was so good, said Scotty. Messi's the best, said Christy Rivero. Of all time, mate, without a doubt, in my mind. Without a doubt, between him and Maradona. Of this generation, without a doubt. I just don't think in the last season. That's the only point here. This isn't for me to sound bitter. Because as I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, Messi is a wonderful, wonderful footballer. But it's a bad opinion. And this particular vote went to Lionel Messi, and we got to accept that and move on. Put a bet on tomorrow, Shaqiri to score past MK Dons, said Paul agrees. We will, of course, have a little look ahead to the Reds game against MK Dons as well later on in the stream. Just a token gesture because VVD will win the Ballon d'Or, said Craig Adams. Football fan chat is in. How are you? Dave LFC chat said we need to give our fringe players and youth a chance on Wednesday against MK Dons. Messi's a B-Tech Maradona, said LFC Gamer. World class, how are you, mate? Welcome in as well. R.I.P. Origi's hair. Did he get a haircut? Oh, Divock, did he? I haven't seen it because I'm not on Twitter anymore, so did he get a haircut? And I don't use Instagram, so Origi. I'm sure he still looks amazing because he's Divock Origi, do you know what I mean? The man does what he wants. That's BS. Van Dijk should have won, said Shay Trainer. Based on last season, VVD deserved it, said Casper Hansen. Joey said Van Dijk very close with Messi for that award. I don't feel hard done by. After all, people call him the best, and Big Virg won the UEFA one a few weeks ago. Very fair of you to say that, Joey. FIFA's a sham, said Halombi. There's only one, and his name is Stevie G, said Cryptic Gaming. Good to see Anfield in the back. I was worried you weren't coming back. Why? Of course I was going to come back, mate. Nothing would stop me doing this. Nothing at all. I was away, as you know, so we said we weren't going to be streaming, and we were back a day, and I was doing the watch-along of the game. Nothing or nobody will stop us doing this, mate. We do this for the love of it. We do this because we want to meet Reds around the world, and that's going to continue to happen. Hey Doug, how are you, mate? Welcome. Great to see so many familiar faces and names back in the chat. It's great to see you. I missed you guys last week. I really did. Got a bit of a tan there, Craig, mate, said Paul Greaves. Not really, to be honest. Didn't see much sun. Didn't see much sun at all, to be honest. But I'll take it. I'll take it, Paul. Thank you. Good to see you back, said LFC 1892. Thank you, mate. Subi said, Craig, my lineup prediction against MK Dons. Kelleher, Kiana Hoover, Gomez, Lovren, Yasser Larici, Milner, Chamberlain, Lallana, Shaqiri, Brewster and Origi. We will do a proper preview of that game later on in the stream, ladies and gents, but I want to give everybody a chance to vent if you need to do so at the start of this. I want to give everybody a chance to talk about what they believe was right or wrong about that main award tonight. And then we'll move on and we'll get on to the good news about Klopp and Alisson. Craig, how far do you think LFC will get in the Champions League? Asked Jake Hallett. It's always difficult to say, mate, because as I said last season, even though he went on to win it, it's a very open competition and there's a number of clubs that could do really well. I mean, you look at Manchester City, Liverpool, you never know what to expect perhaps from the three big boys in Spain, Barca, Atleti and Real. Real and Barca are a bit shaky at the minute, but you know, they could come good as the season goes on. Juventus, I think, will do pretty well in the tournament as well. You could have a surprise package like we had with Ajax last season, so it's very difficult to say, but what I continuously say is, mate, nobody is going to want to face Liverpool in Europe. Messi won that award to keep people guessing for the Ballon d'Or, said Joseph. What else we got? I think a lot of people are just having a go with a stroller popped in. I'm going to move on. I'm going to continue to try and be positive and keep this moving on. Update on Mane. I do have something on Mane for you, mate. Bear with me 2 seconds while I just scroll through my notes here. Where is the thing on Mane? Yes, so Sadio Mane injury update. Klopp gave a little bit earlier on. He said that Sadio suffered a combination of a dead leg and a knock to the bone near his knee. It's extremely unlikely he's going to take any part in the game against MK Dons on Wednesday, but fingers crossed it's nothing serious for Sadio, and we await further news on that one. Yeah, look, we don't need an injury to one of our front three, so fingers crossed it isn't something that keeps Sadio out for a prolonged period of time, and of course I will keep you up to date with any updates that the club give out on that one. JJ Man said, how did Messi beat Van Dijk? It's a joke. Who is your favourite Liverpool manager of all time? Good one, Eugene. 3, Kenny, Rafa, and now Jurgen. It's very difficult to say, mate. I mean, I think by the end of Jurgen's tenure, I could be saying Jurgen Klopp, but I've a real soft spot for Rafa, and of course everybody, and rightly so, loves King Kenny. Score prediction for tomorrow night, said Jack. It's Wednesday, buddy. It's Wednesday that we're playing against MK Dons, and do you know, I really don't know what to expect, Jack. I don't know what to expect with the starting 11. I don't know what to expect with the score. I just hope that we get through, because I want to have a domestic cup run this year and allow some of the younger players to get more minutes. Will said, fuming after those awards. Marcelo over Robbo, Ramos over Trent, Modric over Bernardo Silva. Please, I have to say, I'm absolutely shocked that Bernardo Silva didn't make that award, that best 11, because Bernardo Silva had an excellent season last year, as did Raheem Sterling, and I'm giving Manchester City players credit here because they rightly deserve it. Bernardo Silva was excellent both for Portugal and for Manchester City last season, and I think it is a crying shame that he wasn't in that best 11. I really, really do. And that's before we start talking about Robbo or Mane or Salah or whatever. The fact that we didn't have Bernardo Silva in there, I have to say, I think is robbery. I think he deserved to be in that 11. I really do. I think he's a wonderful footballer. Obviously, it's a shame he's playing for Manchester City, but I always give you guys my honest opinions on this. And like a lot of you have said, I find it shocking that Bernardo Silva didn't make that 11. No Madrid players deserve to be in the FIFA 11, said AABBB. C. Warrender said, if Mane is out for a bit, it'll go in Shaqiri's favour. Perhaps it'll be interesting to see what he might do there. Would he push Origi out onto the left, maybe? It will be interesting to see, but hopefully we're not having to have this conversation. Hopefully it's not a long time that he's out. Craig, what's with the title, said Pranav. Oh, the FIFA Best Awards were tonight, mate. So, as I said, Virgil van Dijk lost out on the men's Best Award to Lionel Messi. So, you know, Connor came up with the title and Connor came up with the thumbnail because, you know, he's the creative head. So, yeah, a lot of people feel that Van Dijk deserved the award. Dara said, hey Craig, I found it yesterday. You cannot say anything negative about Salah or Trent, who are both below average, just my opinion. Again, Dara, we covered this yesterday, mate. You know how much I respect you, mate, and how much I love our interactions. And you can say whatever you want, mate. It's your absolute opinion, as you've said. And you weren't, I remember the comments. I didn't agree with you, but that's okay. We're not always going to agree, Dara. And you're fully entitled to your opinions, mate. And I respect you for having those opinions, but it's just a touchy subject, Dara, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from as well on this, because you know, as I've said, how much I like you, how much I enjoy our chats. I was just happy to get out there yesterday with 3 points, mate, and continue this great run that the club are on. I agree with you, Peter, but if LFC threaten the January window, hoping to push for the Premier League and the Champions League, LFC is in the position to be greedy for silverware. Yeah, we are. It's great, and long may that greed continue. Peter Van der Shan said, Bernardo Silva is a better player than Sterling in his opinion. Martin O'Neill wants to know, have the Nike rumours got any substance? I can't say for certain, mate. I mean, obviously I have no inside knowledge from the club, but from what I'm reading, and from what you guys I'm sure are reading as well, I would say they seem to be the favourites, and it seems to be, the more and more stuff that's coming out, it seems to be more and more likely that Nike will be the new manufacturers for Liverpool for next season. But until the club come out and give it an absolute statement, or Nike announce it, I guess we're just going to have to carry on and wait and see what happens. Rachel Mason said, Craig, that chair is beautiful. Thank you so much, Rachel. It is beautiful, I'm not going to lie, and it is comfortable as well. And again, it's made by Serendipity Furniture, and I'm going to continuously have a link below to anybody who wants to click on it and see what they do or want to contact them. There is a link in the stream description below, so have a look on there as well. And if you mention Anfield Agenda, the guys will look after you with a discount as well. And this chair is something I'm going to be proud to be sitting in for, hopefully right into my old age. And I've no doubt the chair will last that long, because you can tell how well it's made when you see it in person. Origi got a new haircut, said Big Man Steve. I'm going to have a little look for that later on because I liked his dreads. I liked Origi's hair. But look, I like Origi anyway because he's Divock. Curtis Dalton said, Craig, I hope you're well. Missed you incredibly. Keep up the good work because you're a good man. Thank you, sir. Let me just state this categorically. No trolls, no lies spread about me, no hate spread about me, no threats towards me. Nothing will stop me making these videos because I love what I do. Connor loves what he does and we love this channel and we love you guys and we will continue to do it. We've made certain alterations to our social media accounts and stuff, and we've done so for reasons we believe to be the right reasons. But nothing will change an Anfield agenda. In fact, it's actually changed a little bit. I'm lying. It's changed to your favour. We have demonetized the channel and we have removed all ads. So you will no longer be able to super chat and you will no longer have to put up with ads, because we've said all along that this channel has never been about making money. Myself and Connor have never taken a penny wage from this channel since day one. And we decided while we were away to put our money where our mouth is. And we said, you know what? The cost of equipment and stuff has been covered. So let's go back to what we said from the start. Let's make this a channel that is free for everybody. A channel that doesn't have any barriers between you and us. And here we are. There's no more super chats, no more ads. And we hope that it will benefit you guys. And we hope you'll continue to enjoy it, because nobody likes ads popping up. I don't. When I'm watching a video on YouTube, I've got to be honest, I don't like ads popping up. I'll watch them if I like the channel in question, because you want them to get the couple of p or whatever it is, couple of cents from you watching it. But we decided just to stay true to what we've always said, and that this channel has never been about money. So no more super chats, no more ads, just fun, enjoyment, relaxation, and us and you hopefully getting to know each other a little bit better as time goes on. So look, I just wanted to say that to everybody. As always, I'm an open book. I try and be as honest as I can. And we just feel that that's the right move for the channel. And we feel that we can tick things over and we can afford to keep the lights on. And we've covered the cost of the equipment that we needed to start the channel and stuff. So, all good. What else we got? What do you make of Harry Wilson being in our first team next season? Said Soldier 1. I suppose, mate, it depends on how he gets on with Bournemouth this season. And he's had a decent enough start. Scored again at the weekend. I hope he does. I absolutely hope he tears it up for Bournemouth, and we have another headache for Jurgen Klopp next season, because there's another player knocking on his door saying, Gaffer, I'm here and give me a go. What else have we got? Pranav said, think Van Dijk will settle with the Ballon d'Or. Well, it's 1-1. As we said, Messi won, Van Dijk won, and let's move on to the Ballon d'Or and see what happens. Rigged, said Michael. Peter Van der Shan said, won't ask what happened, as it doesn't. What's this? Don't ask what happened as it doesn't add to the quality, or it doesn't matter to the quality on here. Thank you, Dave. Dave sent me a picture of the haircut. Thank you, mate. Let me have a look at it now while we're on stream, actually, Dave. Let me have a quick look. See Divock's old haircut. Thank you very much. Nope, that's not the one. Oh, he's looking fresh. That's a fresh trim from Divock. I tell you what. Thanks for that, Dave. But yeah, man's looking well. Divock, yeah, that's a pretty decent haircut there for Divock Origi. So yeah, looking well, looking like a handsome devil. No more ads, woohoo! So the Psalmist Taste Cave, yeah, no more ads on the channel, mate. You won't have to worry about that. Origi's hair is like Mane's hair when he didn't have the yellow and gold bit. I think he looks really good. Actually, do you know what? I was gonna think he might look a little bit odd without the dreads, but as Dave sent me the picture there and I had a look at it, he looks pretty damn good. He looks pretty smart. Hope the kids have a run out against MK Don, said Bubble Man. I'm very intrigued, and we will touch on that a little bit later on in the stream. Don't worry about it. I haven't forgotten about the update. Just a reminder again, tomorrow I won't be here because I never do Tuesday streams, because Tuesday's Psychologist Day, so there won't be a late night agenda tomorrow, but we will of course be covering the MK Dons game on Wednesday. How did VVD not win the best player of the year, said Cars TV. I don't know, mate. I don't know. But Messi won it, and congratulations to Messi. Connor said Salah and Mane got more votes for best player than Mbappe, De Jong, Hazard, De Ligt, yet weren't in the 11. How does that make sense? Connor, mate, I have long given up trying to figure out a lot of stuff around FIFA and UEFA, mate, and a lot of this doesn't make sense to us, and we just accept it and move on. All we can do is concentrate on the team and the football, and Jurgen Klopp and those boys keep putting 3 points on the board week in and week out. But let's move to some good news from the FIFA Best Awards tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move to the news that Jurgen Klopp has won the FIFA Best Coach Award, and congratulations to Klopp won that. He was speaking about it and he said, wow, it's quite heavy. I have to say thank you to a lot of people. Start with my family sitting at home watching. Nobody would have expected this 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Then he addressed Mauricio Pochettino and he said, Mauricio, I won that game. That's why I'm here, not you. That's just how football is. I say thank you to my outstanding club, LFC. Whoever doesn't love it has no heart. I think I also have to thank my team. As a coach, you can only be as good as your team. I'm really proud of being a manager of this incredible bunch. I don't understand 100% individual prizes, but I get it. I'm here for a lot of people. We're all here, the really good side of life. There are people out there who don't have the same situation. From today, I am a member of the Common Goal family. If you don't know it, Google it. And it seems that a lot of people did Google it because their friends at the Cop-Eye posted up a screenshot to show that the Common Goal website had that many hits on it after Jurgen Klopp's acceptance speech that it actually crashed. That's how powerful Jurgen Klopp's words are. And he was up against Mauricio Pochettino and he was up against Pep Guardiola. Two excellent coaches, two absolutely fantastic coaches and people that I rate very highly. And I'm not going to belittle either of them. Why would I? Pep Guardiola won a treble last season with Manchester City. Mauricio Pochettino got the Spurs side to the Champions League final. I mean, both men did fantastic things, but congratulations to Jurgen Klopp. It was beautiful to see him up there collecting that award. But the one that we all want is the Premier League, and that's probably the one Klopp wants. It was wonderful to win Old Big Ears again for a sixth time last year. And it was moving to see Klopp up there. I actually thought Pep would have won it. Hand on heart, I wanted Klopp to win it, of course I did. But I had a feeling it might have been Pep Guardiola that won it. But for Jurgen Klopp to win it, I think it was very close. I mean, I don't know the exact way the voting went, but it must have been close. And congratulations to Klopp. We love him as our manager. People don't even want to think about what happens if he moves on in 3 years' time. But we have him. We have him right now, and he's doing wonderful things at our football club, and we're blessed to have him here. Then we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to Alisson Becker, who won the FIFA Best Goalkeeper Award. He beat off competition from two excellent goalkeepers in Ederson and Marc-Andre ter Stegen to win the award. And again, what can I say? They are two excellent goalkeepers. Andre ter Stegen had an excellent season with Barcelona, and Ederson is an excellent goalkeeper, probably one of the best sweeper keepers in the world. And there's not much between himself and Alisson. Liverpool fans will argue that Alisson Becker is the best keeper. Manchester City fans will argue that Ederson is the best keeper, and there is validity in both arguments. But on the night, Alisson Becker won the award, and again, he looked as dapper as always because he's a dapper son of a bitch, and I love him. And I was so happy for him to win that award. So congratulations to Alisson Becker on being named the FIFA Best Goalkeeper. And of course making the FIFA Best 11. So your thoughts on that, ladies and gents? I mean, we've had a little bit of bad news, but now we can talk about the good news. We can talk about Kloppo. We can talk about Alisson. Dara said Canelo's risk a lot by fighting Kovalev. Your thoughts? I'm really intrigued, Dara, and remind me later on in the stream, mate, if you can, and we'll go through this in more detail because I would like to talk about it towards the end of the stream. But I just want to kick off with the stuff around the FIFA Best Awards. The Ballon d'Or hasn't been announced yet, Morgan, mate. I think it's December, January time maybe for that one. Spurs would be crazy to get rid of Pochettino, said Darkness03. Yeah, there has been some little bits and pieces starting to come out. I mean, I think Paul Merson said something again on Sky about it. And there's always been this cloud over Pochettino and Spurs in the last couple of months about whether he'll stay or not. Now, I don't know, and they would be mad if they wanted him out. And I'm sure that they don't want him out. I mean, Pochettino's an excellent coach. Soldier 1 said Klopp's the cream of the crop. Whoop whoop, Jurgen. Love it. Why not? Jurgen Klopp deserves it by far, in my opinion, because of the Champions League. Love him, said Casper. Kalunda said robbed, FIFA is corrupt. Shankly Spirit said slow motion with the potion. I don't know what that means, mate, but I love it. Slow motion with the potion, I'll take it. Happily Eggs is in. How are you, sir? Welcome, great to see you in. Andrew is it Yeo or Yo said this LFC team is making grown men say funny things. Sweet funny things. It makes us all do and say funny things, isn't it? Or doesn't it, I should say. Alisson is the real Iron Man, said Shankly Spear. Cryptic Gaming said Alisson is so much better than Ederson. I think he is, of course. I think he's a better keeper than Ederson, but I give Ederson the credit he deserves. And Marc-Andre ter Stegen also did have an excellent season with Barcelona. Casper Hansen said there's something wrong at Spurs. There seems to be something, isn't there? As I said, there's just something creeping in there that I don't really know how to describe. Let me just have a quick drink. Sorry, mouth very dry today. Marco Silva and Ole both to be sacked before Christmas, said Paul Greaves. Yeah, the United are a bit of a shambles at the minute, aren't they? And there's various things coming out about. I think there was something came out tonight. I think at a supporters AGM or something where they said basically that Ole has had control over transfers. I don't know. I hope Manchester United continue to struggle. Of course I do. And Marco Silva at Everton is definitely going through a rocky patch as well. And like I say, they're not our problems, and long may it continue. We want Liverpool to be successful. Fuck United and Everton. Who cares what happens to either of them? Yeah, they are, of course, two of our rivals and two games to look out for every season. And as my good friend Farrell says, football is cyclical. And, well, not in Everton sense. In Everton sense, you're just pretty much crap season in, season out. But for United, it's a rebuilding time, and it's a very important time for their club, and they got to get a lot of things right that they aren't getting right at the minute. LFC 8092 said, Klopp looks like a mafia don in that picture. Alisson and Virgil look like his bodyguards. I like it. Yes. Why not? I'll go with that one. When did you get new seat, Mark? Well, firstly, Liverpool Football Club, my name is Craig, not Mark. And I got the new seat, well, when did I get it? Before, I think maybe 10 days ago, I actually got to see it for the first time and get it here. Around that. But as I said, there is a link in the description below to Serendipity Furniture, who made the chair. How's your day been, Craig, said Domestic Butler. It's been good, mate. I've missed my family so much when I was away, so it was beautiful to get home and spend some time with them and catch up with them, and hug them and kiss them and do all the things you want to do as a father and a husband. Alisson is the best, and Klopp, said Shane Buckley. Popeye Doyle reckons I think Kane will go in January. It's an interesting theory, mate. I've long thought, like, Kane is a Spurs boy. As he said, he's one of their own, even though he was wearing an Arsenal shirt at one point. But I wonder, how long will a player of Kane's calibre stay at a club that isn't winning trophies? It's just a thought. I don't know. If you're a Spurs fan, I mean, if I was talking to Expressions, I'm sure he'd be saying that Kane's not going to go anywhere. But, you know, players at the elite top level, they want to be winning trophies, and careers are short, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody maybe does come in for Harry Kane in the future, or what type of money Spurs would look at, or maybe Kane will just come out and say, look, I'm proud to captain this football club and I've no intention of going anywhere. Harry Williams said, going off the first 6 games, who would you say is likeliest for the top 4? At a guess, obviously Liverpool and Manchester City. I think you can take that as a gimme. Spurs need to pick it up. I mean, I would say that they were almost a gimme as well, but I'm going to keep them in there, but they do need to pick it up. And then I suppose for me, it's a shootout between, at this moment in time, it looks like it's a shootout between Leicester, Arsenal and Chelsea. And I know Chelsea are 10 points behind us already, but I see something in that Chelsea team. I see fight in that Chelsea team, and I think that they'll come alright, you know. Whether they can do that this season before the season's out and get into that top 4, I don't know, but I don't see United making it as things stand. I mean, I really don't. Leicester, I would love to do it. I would love Leicester to make that top 4. Not just for Boya's sake, our friend obviously, Leicester City FC Boya, but I like Leicester as a club. I haven't been here since you got the chair. Beautiful, said Ishmael. Thank you, mate. And I said it is available. They will make them. They do sell them. So if you want it, the link is in there. John Hamilton put in the link to Serendipity Furniture. Give it a click. Have a chat with the guys. Tell them that we sent you, and they'll look after you with a nice discount. It's because I'm the spitting image of Mark Aldridge. I know, we're so alike. I'm forever getting mistaken. What else we got? Kane has Real Madrid written all over him, said Jack's page. I remember listening to, I think it was a Graham Hunter podcast, Jack, a while back, and he was saying that at the time, this was before Zidane came back in, that they definitely had an interest in Kane and Pochettino. So, you know, it may be one for the future. Kane to Arsenal, Sol Campbell told me, said Domestic Butler. Peter Van der Shans reckons Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Leicester, Chelsea and Spurs in that order. As long as Liverpool are top of that pile, mate, after that I don't mind, but Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Leicester and Chelsea, you mightn't be too far off, mate. It is interesting. It seems that like a lot of points being dropped early on in the season already. Could see VVD being player and manager, said Paul Greaves. I don't know. It's tough to gauge what players will go on to be managers. Some you think, like I would have thought 100% that Jamie Carragher would have went into management, but he decided against it for, I think maybe for family reasons or whatever it might be. He went to Houston. I think Rodgers is a great match for Leicester, and I think so as well. I think he's doing a very good job there. Popeye Doyle reckons Son will go as well. Do they do a Manchester City chair, said Adam Farnan. Yes, mate. They can make whatever club you want. They can make Manchester United chairs, City chairs, Everton chairs. They've made a chair for one of the players from Wasps Rugby Club as well. So they can do whatever you want, mate. And as I'm going to move to one side just to show you again, there is, you can see the liver bird embroidered into the chair there with my surname as well. So the chairs are of the utmost quality, and again, just talk to the guys at Serendipity and they'll look after you. What else we got? How are the former Madrid players in the 11 when they didn't get past the round of 16? Asked Bradley McIntosh. Mate, you're right. I don't know. I've no idea how they got in there. And as a lot of people pointed out, how Bernardo Silva wasn't in there, I think is a disgrace. The fact that Sterling wasn't in there, you could make an argument for that. You can make an argument for Mane, Salah. It's crazy. Connor said Messi voted for Mane for the award tactical vote if ever I've seen one. He didn't even have VVD in the top 3. That's a joke from Messi right there, an absolute joke. And as you said, Connor, it is tactical voting of the highest order. But look, Messi won the award, and congratulations to him. We might not agree with it, but it's a fact now, and he won the award. Congratulations, Lionel Messi. Liverpool to have the Champions League plays tied up at Christmas at this rate and then kick on to the league by April, said Domestic Butler. I agree about Chelsea. They certainly have talent. Now they need experience, said Darkness03. This ban that they have, this transfer ban, it might sort of be a blessing in disguise. Because it's allowed Lampard to play the likes of Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, that centre-back, I can never remember his name, that played yesterday again, alongside Christensen at the start of the game. It gives him a chance to blood these players through and know that nobody's going to give him a hard time for it because he doesn't really have any options. Did you think Liverpool was too big for Brendan Rodgers? I just think it came too early in his managerial career, mate. I think Brendan Rodgers, look, Leicester could be a top 4 club, so what I'm saying here, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I think Brendan Rodgers will move on again to a very, very, very top club. Again, not being disparaging toward Leicester, who have won the Premier League, and I don't mean that to sound in any way belittling of Leicester, but basically trying to say I just think it was too early for Rodgers in his career. He's made a lot of mistakes, he threw a lot of people under the bus, but I think he is a good coach underneath it all, and I think he'll do well at Leicester and he'll continue to progress with his career. You're bad, Craig, but I love it how you handed out to the Manx and Evertonians. Yep, VVD was robbed, but I hope to make him and want to improve even more if that's possible, said Sean O'Donnell. You're bad, Craig. Okay, fair enough, Sean. Thanks for that. Doug said, have I missed anything preparing for my next Carabao Cup video? Not really, Doug. We're still just talking and congratulating Alisson Becker and Jurgen Klopp on their awards, the FIFA Best Goalkeeper and the FIFA Best Manager. Can they build a fridge in that chair for your Diet Coke? I wish. Can you imagine? A little fridge for the Diet Coke and then a little cupboard, a little press thing here for the Kyo's crisps, and I'd be all set then, wouldn't I? Tamori, Doug, thank you. Yes, that was the gentleman's name I was trying to think of. Actually, I want to take a second to speak about Gianni Infantino. So before he gave out the award for the FIFA Best Men's Player Award, he spoke about kicking racism out of football. He touched on more incidents that are happening in the Italian Serie A, and he said that there's just no place in the sport for racism at all. And whilst it's easy for him to say that, you hope that there are going to be actions to follow it up. Again, I'm not trying to single out Italy here, but that is what Gianni Infantino mainly spoke about because it's his home country. But it isn't just a problem that's reserved for Italy. It happens across the world, unfortunately. And like Gianni Infantino said, there is no place for it in sport or in society. So we need to kick racism out of football without a shadow of a doubt. I just hope that FIFA and UEFA have the courage of their convictions to actually do something about it. Words are great, but actions are what's needed. Funnily, Gaming say, Craig, are you going to play FIFA 20? I was actually talking about that with my wife earlier on, buddy. I'm edging towards it, closer and closer towards it, actually. Boya said, can't see top 4, saying 7th in my opinion. Still saying 7th in my opinion. Was that for Leicester, Boya? I think he'll break top 6, definitely. Harry Williams said, Boya and Craig, question for you both. If you could drop Kante into your first 11, would you, and who would you drop? That's a very difficult question because I rate N'Golo Kante tremendously. I mean, both as a man and as a footballer. You've seen his quality yesterday, your first hand against us. The finish for his goal was sensational. To drop him into the team, oh God, it's a very difficult one. I'd love him in our squad. Let me put it that way. I'd love him in our squad, but I also love Fabinho. I can't give you an... In our squad, yes. In our starting 11, it's a very difficult call because I don't want to drop Fabinho because I really think Fabinho is going to carry on improving and doing what he's doing and looking fantastic. But N'Golo Kante is a special player and a special man, and I've nothing but love for the guy. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm afraid I can't give you an answer. Absolutely love the channel. Keep it up, said TLT Games. Thank you so much. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and give the stream a thumbs up. YouTube have changed the way they've gone about things now, so you can see your subscriber numbers there at the minute. It says 22,400. You don't get individual updates anymore, so it won't go 401, 402. It will only update every 100 from this point. So next time it'll change, it will go to 22,500 hopefully. So if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. We want to push the channel on. We want to meet as many fans as we can, and we want to talk to as many Reds as we can, and we need your help to do that. So share the streams, let people know about us, hit that like button, comment, do everything that you need to do, and we'll see how far we can get this. Without Kante, France couldn't win the World Cup, said Happily Eggs. He is tremendous. I'm not going to keep saying he is. He's a fucking great player, N'Golo Kante, and as a human being as well, he just seems like a wonderful, wonderful fella. Ishmael said, Kante is a great player, but I'm not dropping Fabinho for him. Dan said, Craig, how are you? I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm glad to be home with my family. I miss them all tremendously. In the 18 years that I've been together with my missus, I've never been away from her for that long. For varying reasons, but mainly because she's my support system and my rock. So yeah, it was a difficult week in some ways. But again, when you go to Florida, you know it's a state that I love. I've spoken about it many, many times. I've been there. That was my 6th visit to the state. And you always receive a wonderful visit or a wonderful hospitable welcome from Floridians, whether it be at theme parks, wherever you go. And I won't let one small little tiny incident ruin my view of what is a fantastic place full of fantastic people. 40-year-old Virgil said, play Kante central midfield with Keita when fit. That would be unstoppable. Callum said, YouTube getting worse. Did you not get the notification, buddy? I'm sorry if that's the case. Yeah, it's something that frustrates YouTubers as well, Callum. I can promise you that, mate, because we obviously want everybody to get our notifications for all the channels that they subscribe to, because, you know, if say you're a fan of True Geordie and he goes live, you want to watch Brian, so you want to get that notification and you want to be able to go watch him straight away. And sometimes, like the Late Night Agenda, for instance, these are pretty much scheduled for 9:30 most nights, but some people might just go live because of breaking news or whatever, and I get where you're coming from. It is frustrating. Can I talk about MK Dons? I will, Benjamin, in a little while, mate. I promise you we will have a look ahead to the game on Wednesday, because I'm interested to see what way you guys think is going to happen with team selection and stuff like that. Let me just quickly have a quick look through my notes as well. I suppose we should touch on yesterday's game against Chelsea as well. I mean, a lot of you guys probably seen the post-match show. It was really a game of two halves. I thought Liverpool were the better side in the first half. Chelsea, particularly in the last 30 minutes, they penned us in. You've got to say we were hanging on a little bit, but the important point is we did hang on and we did collect the 3 points. And to go to Stamford Bridge and win isn't easy. It's a difficult place to go. So let me just talk you through the major incidents of the game, and you guys can give me your opinions on it. Trent's goal. I remember saying during the stream, don't touch it. Usually I'm all for touching a free kick to and I'll explain why later on. But in that position, I just thought, just hit it. Right in the edge of the box like that, fairly central, just hit it. And that little back heel towards Trent was wonderful. And Henderson said that he came out and said, just stick it in top bins when he was talking to him. And my goodness, did Trent do it. You could have had 5 goalkeepers in that net and you weren't stopping that. It was a tremendous strike from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I was delighted to see him score. Himself and Robbo have been knocking on the door recently for goals, and for him to get his goal yesterday, it was great. Absolutely fantastic. So congratulations to Trent on that one. We'll move on to the Firmino goal now, and then I'll talk about what I meant by touching a free kick. So often when you get a free kick in a wide area, what you see happen is ball goes into the box and players are caught offside because the defence steps up. So sometimes what you see teams doing, and what we did yesterday for the Firmino goal, was you take a touch or you play the ball backwards or sideways, whichever way, which allows your forwards and the defence to reset again. So it's a second phase. And by doing that, sometimes you can catch teams out and you can get into a better position. And that is what happened. The ball was rolled back. It was crossed in. Bobby had so much space and buried the header. And from Chelsea's point of view, it was poor defending. But from our point of view, it was a wonderful header from Bobby Firmino, and absolutely delighted for him as well. I'd love to know your thoughts on the free kick thing as well, because for me, and it could be just my opinion, I could be completely wrong on this, when in those wide areas, teams just whip in free kicks, time and time again, I've seen they just get caught offside. So this is why I like the little touch to allow a little bit of a reset, and then the second ball to get whipped in quite quickly. The other incident in the game, and I'm going to come into your comments, I just want to get my little few bits out before I come in, was Kante's goal. Now, we've got to talk about that. We should have stopped it. I mean, I'm not taking away from Kante's dribble and his finish, because it was outstanding and there is zero fault with Adrian about that whatsoever. Nothing he could have done. The finish from N'Golo Kante was spectacular, right into the top corner. Just a wonderful, wonderful goal. But from a defensive perspective, Fabinho was turned too easily, and probably should have stopped them. And then at one point there was almost four Liverpool players surrounding N'Golo Kante when he got a strike away, and that shouldn't have happened. We should have stopped that from happening. But that doesn't take away from the quality of the finish from Kante. It was fucking sensational, absolutely sensational. And then to finish up, I just want to talk about Adrian for a second, because we were all very, very worried, and rightly so, when Alisson got his injury, because Alisson, again, like tonight, has been voted FIFA best goalkeeper of the year. So when you lose somebody like that, you look to your bench and you hope. And we didn't know too much about Adrian from a Liverpool perspective. We knew what he played at West Ham and where else he'd been in his career, but we didn't know what to expect. And he had a bit of a shocker at the start. We know the incident, the goal that he conceded. But ever since then, he has been quality. Now, he isn't Alisson Becker, and he won't be Alisson Becker. He hasn't got the distribution of Alisson Becker. But I wanted to take a moment to just talk about the level of Adrian's performances. He hasn't put a foot wrong in recent times. He's made some wonderful saves. He made a fantastic save yesterday when one-on-one with Tammy Abraham to keep Liverpool ahead. Just tremendous defending from the keeper. I mean, sorry, I got distracted because I see my wife's name in the chat there. It's just brilliant. I just want to take a second to say well done to Adrian, and long may his high level of performances continue until, of course, Alisson comes back, in which case he'll come in as our number one. But I think it's only right that we take a second to big him up. That save from Dries Mertens in Naples, I'll never understand how he saved that. It was ridiculous. It was just ridiculously good. And everything else about Adrian's game, I think, has been really, really, really good. So just want to take that second to talk about him. Now, I'll move on to your comments, ladies and gents. Salah was great 2 seasons ago, was marked last season. Mane was amazing last season and being marked now. Possibly Bobby sneaking into the top scorer status, said Harry Williams. I'd love to see Bobby get there. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter how many goals Bobby scores because of all the other work that he does. But you're right, Salah and Mane are being doubled up, trebled up on now. But I still fancy Mane to be our top scorer this season. Personally, I still think he'll do it. But it's great to have the three of them. I mean, we're so blessed to have the three of those guys at the football club. Pat Moynihan said he'd sign Kante in a heartbeat. Van Dijk robbed. The bias is real. Said Lily Andex. If you mean the bias here, of course it's going to be bias from us, mate. We're a Liverpool channel. I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't know if you mean bias from me towards that or bias from FIFA towards Messi. But either way, I'm obviously going to be biased towards Van Dijk. I'm not even going to hide that. Of course I am. I think Van Dijk was the best player in the world last year. Scotty said, Craig, I think we went down a gear in the second half and was so happy that we won it. It's a hard game, but we won. LFC 8092 said, agreed, Craig. Fabinho should have been a little tighter on Kante, but apart from that, he's been class this season. Oh, mate, love him. Love the octopus. Love Fabinho. And it's okay to be a little bit critical of somebody when they did make a mistake. It's okay. We're not slating him. We all still love him. He'll still continue to be a great player, and he'll have a massive positive impact on our season. But he could have been tighter, and Kante shouldn't have got to where he got to, and he shouldn't have got that shot away. But as we said, he got it away, and it was a tremendous goal, and it didn't affect the result in the end. We still went on to win the game, take the 3 points, win 6 out of 6, have 18 points, be on top of the league, win 15 games in a row. It's just ridiculous the level that this team is at the minute, and it's a privilege as a fan to get to sit back and watch them. Anthony Davis said the whip on that Trent free kick, top bins, it was stunning, mate, wasn't it? Absolutely stunning. Adrian was my man of the match, really proving he's better than Mignolet, said Red Hulk. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, mate. I've been actually surprised at the level Adrian's got to already. If you think about a player that didn't get very much, if any, football last season with West Ham, I mean, I can't remember how much he played, but very little. And a player who hadn't got a club over the summer. And then the club allowed Mignolet to move on, and we quickly moved for Adrian. And he came in, he's won the Super Cup, and his level of performance just keeps improving. So, again, a good piece of scouting, a good piece of business by the club. But most importantly, you got to give credit here to the goalkeeper himself. And of course, it's only right we give credit to John Achterberg, who's been coaching him since he's come to the club as well. And I've been critical of John Achterberg in the past, mainly around Mignolet and stuff like that. But again, credit. He's improved Alisson since he's come in, and he's improved Adrian already. So I just want to take a second again to give credit to John Achterberg. Doug said Martin Tyler's commentary was a joke. Didn't get to hear it, mate. You know when I'm doing watch-alongs, I can't have audio on, so I don't actually hear the match commentary. Jamie Murray said they're both great players. When Van Dijk won the other award, a lot of people said he was robbed. It's a very hard decision, and no decision will go down without some complaining from one side. Jamie, it's a very fair point, mate, and I absolutely agree with you. It is difficult, and we are biased. Of course we're biased. I'm going to keep saying, of course we are. We're a Liverpool fan channel. Of course we're going to be biased towards them. And nobody's saying that Messi isn't a fantastic player. I'm going to keep repeating that fact, because he is. And as you said, it's 1-1 now when we move on towards the Ballon d'Or. Trent's set pieces are elite, said LFC 1892. Tyler's a mank, said Malcolm Fielding. Navid, excuse me, mate, I didn't mean to pronounce or mispronounce your name. Said Liverpool fans are so bitter. Clearly Messi deserved it. Have we been that bitter, mate? I mean, I've literally spent I don't know how long today saying how great Messi is. I don't think we're bitter. I think it's just our opinion that this season Van Dijk deserved it. That's not to be disparaging towards Lionel Messi. I think we're having opinions here, mate. I don't think we're being bitter. But you're entitled to yours as well, and you're respectful of how you came in, and I respect you for that. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat, so excuse me. It's moving quick tonight, so I'm doing my best to keep up with it. As good as Adrian has been, said David Newell, I have to admit I want Alisson back for us so badly. I just can't relax as much as I do when Alisson is in goal. Saying that, Alisson will probably come back and have a stinker. No, he won't. He'll come back and be great. But I get where you're coming from. I'm still a little bit nervous when the ball goes back to any goalkeeper that isn't Alisson to clear it, because Mignolet had issues with his clearances at times, and Adrian obviously gave us a few scares as well early on. So as we say when we were taught when we were younger, if in doubt, put it out, just put your foot through it. Was it against Napoli? I think it might have been against Napoli, where he chipped it over one of the players, a la Alisson. So he's obviously full of confidence, Adrian, and putting in great performances. Robert Faherty said, how long have you been streaming for? I hope I didn't miss much. We've been on since 9:30, mate, but you know we've got a good hour to go yet, mate, so loads of time for you to catch up and put in any questions that you might have. Good night, boy. I'll talk to you really soon, mate, and we'll catch up really soon. Must get you on for a chat actually at some point, boy. Adam Farnan said, if you had De Bruyne, would he start and who would you drop? Yes, he would start. Of course, De Bruyne would start. There's no doubt about that. Drop Kevin De Bruyne into this Liverpool team and he'd be tremendous. And who would I drop? He'd probably play in the third midfield position, so you're looking at probably dropping Henderson or Gini, one of those two. I mean, both have merits and both are very good players, but I have to say there's not many players I would say yes I would put into our starting 11 straight away, but you would find a place for Kevin De Bruyne. You would have to. Imagine De Bruyne in behind that front three, feeding them balls and whipping crosses into them and doing what Kevin De Bruyne does. I mean, that particular ball that he keeps playing deep towards the back post for Manchester City, I call it the De Bruyne to Raheem Sterling goals. Look, yes, you would find a place for him in the team. I don't like to use the word drop though, Adam, because it's very harsh towards the players, but I would find a place for De Bruyne in that 11 if I'm being honest. Ishmael said it's rare for defensive players to win these awards. Attackers are just more eye-catching, but big Virgil should have got it. Yeah, of course, scoring goals is the sexy part of football, and Messi and Ronaldo do it better than anybody else. But it was about last season. It wasn't about their overall careers. Nobody's trying to say Virgil van Dijk is on a par with Messi and Ronaldo for their careers. Of course we're not saying that. It was about last season. Liverpool fans, of course, believed that Van Dijk should have won it. And a lot of people tonight, Liverpool fans included, have said it was close, and they understand it going either way. But there are some decisions about that FIFA 11 team which are just ridiculous. As we've said, the fact no Bernardo Silva was in it was an absolute joke. And you could make arguments around why was Ramos in it, why was Marcelo in it. I'm trying to think who else was in it. I mean, some players, of course, Dejan, he deserves to be in. Of course he does. But yeah, to not have a Bernardo Silva in there, I thought was extremely harsh. Extremely, extremely harsh. What else we got? We play about 70 games this season. Bothers me that we didn't sign any players. Our squad is quite thin. Said Briefcase Wanker. Love the reference. It's not too thin, you know, mate. I mean, of course, we'll have to be a little bit lucky with injuries. But there is a lot to be said for continuity, and I don't ever really like to give Mourinho much credit for stuff, but he spoke during the summer about when he was at Porto, how important for him it was, and how they went from winning the Europa League to winning the Champions League, and he said more important than any signings was the fact that he kept that team and that group of players together. And we've done that at the moment. We've signed down all our star players to longer contracts, and keeping the team together and allowing them to develop. Yes, it is a little bit of a gamble. I mean, I still think we're short up top. As much as I love Ryan Brewster, and I think he'll go on to do great things, and as much as Divock Origi has improved, the drop off from the front three to those is quite a lot. I mean, in 3 years' time, I fully think Brewster will be up there at that level. But as things stand, yes, if this Mane injury, for instance, kept him out for a prolonged period of time, then I would be a little bit concerned. But that's my honest opinion. Hopefully, though, we can get through the season without any serious injuries, and if we can keep our injuries to a minimum, we'll be right there at the end, fight Manchester City for that title. Harry Williams said, we've talked about what's Liverpool's strongest 11 before, so what is the strongest bench in your opinion? God, that's a difficult one, mate. Again, what are we talking? Premier League, Champions League? I mean, different amounts on the benches. Obviously, you've got Adrian in there, as you've said, Gomez, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Kate. I think what you've gone with at this moment in time probably would be our strongest bench. Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, I think long-term Brewster will come in there and probably push himself ahead of Origi. But yeah, I think you might have got that one spot on, mate. But of course, it is just all about opinions, isn't it? What else have we got? Bed now, you big baby. I don't know if that was aimed at me or not, but you thought you were going to buy it. He's early for work, I think. Christopher Burns said, "Oh, how I've missed your big baldy Irish head, mate. It's been a while." I've missed you guys too, Christopher, and thank you for the my type of compliment, because that's my type of humour, mate. Our set pieces have massively improved, said Bernadette, and they have. There's no doubt about that. We are very dangerous now from corners, free kicks. It used to be a weak point of ours, but now with Big Virgil in there, with Matip as well, and of course the crosses from Trent, from Henderson, from Shaqiri when he's on, from Robbo. Yes, we're definitely a danger from set pieces, and it's great to see. What else we got? Look at Messi's stats. He's been like this for 7 years. Messi's been carrying Barcelona, and no, Messi hasn't been wrecked. Messi's currently injured too. Mate, none of us are belittling Lionel Messi. I've said it before. For me, he's the GOAT. I love Messi. I think he's a fantastic player, mate, and deserves every Ballon d'Or that he's picked up. Honestly, hand on heart, I feel that if a defender, and Van Dijk being the one this year, doesn't go on and win the Ballon d'Or, what will that say? I mean, what will a defender have to do to win it? It's not us being belittling of Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi's great. No one's ever going to say that. But we just feel it should have been Van Dijk this year. And that's okay. You feel it should have been Messi. And he won. And congratulations to him. And I fully respect the way you've come in, mate, and gone about your business here. Because a lot of times people just come in trolling. And I respect the fact that you've taken the time to state your opinion. And thank you for that. Dodge76 said, New Balance said they'll try match Nike or Adidas. They do have that, well, it's rumoured that they have that compete clause, Dodge, where if they do match either one, that they'd get the gig. I think it's in their contract. It's been rumoured to be in the contract anyway. I just don't know if they could quite get up to the level of money that Adidas and Nike are talking about. But in saying that, I think the last couple of seasons have been record-breaking seasons for Liverpool kit sales, and we've seen at times you can't even get the kits. I mean, they've sold out the goalkeepers' kits at times. The home kits, I think, were sold out last year. And there's been various other occasions where people have been unable to buy the kits. So, yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from. But, I love New Balance. I'd happily have them keep making our kits. Joe Cullen said De Bruyne has done enough this season so far to get into next year's World 11. He really is unreal. He's a fantastic footballer, mate. He is, no doubt about it. Kyle said, I'm kind of feeling a teeny weeny bit sorry United, or for United. How teeny weeny are we talking here, Kyle, mate? I mean, are we talking itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, or are we talking like, I don't know, just like a... How am I even going to describe this? Give me a percentage. I need a percentage, Kyle. I need numbers to work off. LFC8092 said, as long as New Balance match any other offers, I'd happily stay with them. Are you related to Carl Pilkington? The head like an orange resemblance is spooky. No, I'm not related to Carl Pilkington. Although I do like Carl Pilkington. I like his sense of humour. And the orange head thing is kind of just more from the ring light, the angle that I have it at, mate. I'm not really this orange in real life, but... definitely aren't related to Carl Pilkington either. I wish I was as funny as him. Top Man Nolo said, have you seen the World 11? I'm shocked. Yeah, we touched on it a little bit earlier on, mate. It's there are a few people in there who you just have to shake your head and wonder about. Madness. Messi deserved it in all honesty, said Jonathan Ryan. And I read out that comment, mate, because I'm going to try and give equal time to all comments in there, and people think Messi deserved it. They have every right to their opinion as well, and I fully respect your opinion. Darrow said Canelo will be juiced for the Kovalev fight. I think Ward was lucky to beat Kovalev with his clear low blows. What is it Joe Rogan calls it, the Mexican supplements, I think, Darrow, is it, when he talks about that. I think he'll be big as well for the fight. I think he's picked the right time to fight Kovalev. I mean, after Kovalev lost to Ward, I think he lost another fight again after that, didn't he? And then came back and beat, was it Yard he fought recently? I'm struggling to remember. Was it Anthony Yard? Whoever he fought recently anyway, beat him and he looked good in the process. I think Andre Ward, there was a few low blows in there, but I think Kovalev's a little bit dirty at times as well. And I think the first fight obviously was close, but I think... Ward is a better boxer than Kovalev, if I'm being honest. What else have we got? Liverpool can't complain about depth. The fact we have to play Lingard a striker shows how crap our depth is, said James Sheldon. It goes down to, James, mate, about how poorly United have invested in their squad over recent years. I mean, you've signed Maguire, who'll do very well for you, and you also... you didn't sign the players that you needed, I think, is more the problem. You didn't sign a midfielder. I mean, you didn't sign probably another forward that you needed. Wan-Bissaka, I've said this many times, is a very, very good fullback and will improve dramatically at Manchester United and will show his quality. But United have the money. There's no doubt about it, mate. They're one of, if not the wealthiest club in the world. It's just been poor management and poor spending of the money. I'm trying to think of the right phrase I'm trying to say here. Just the succession planning hasn't been there. Liverpool have got things right. It's taken a while, but we've got things right with Michael Edwards and the recruitment team there, and United need to go back and revisit this whole situation again from their point of view and start to build. I mean, Daniel James, he looks like a very good piece of business at 15 million. I love any player that, just a young player like that gets the ball down and runs at players, and I think will, I'm begrudgingly saying this, of course, I think he'll turn out to be an excellent signing for you guys. Ishmael said, I feel some sympathy for United too, just in the sense that we all know what it's like to have bad owners sucking money out of the club, but on the other hand, oh well. Yeah, look, that is half of the issue, I think, isn't it? And I'm not going to claim to have any inner knowledge of the workings of the Glazers, but from an outsider's perspective, it does look like that they don't really give a shit because they know that the club are going to keep printing money, basically, for them, and they're going to keep paying out massive dividends, and they're going to sit quite happily there and take those dividends, and United fans are right to be upset. It's not my place to say Glazers in or Glazers out. I just hope United stay shy for quite a long time. But other than that, I'll leave it up to United fans. I mean, it's their club. They've got the right to talk about it. Harry Williams said, what's everybody's thoughts on Lallana still at Liverpool? I think he has something to offer. Personally, I would have moved him on in the summer. Does he have something to offer if he's fit? Yes, he probably does have something to offer. More, I would say, from the bench and in the domestic cups. But I thought I would have moved him on in the summer because I thought we probably would have been the last year you would have got decent money for him if you were to move him on. But Jurgen Klopp obviously rates him very highly. When Kloppo first came to the club, Lallana was extremely, extremely important to our pressing along with Bobby Firmino. Just I think father time maybe and injuries have started to catch up with Adam Lallana, and I've nothing but love for the guy. I mean, I don't want to sit here and be negative about him because he looks like a really lovely fella. And when on form and when at the top of his game, he is a good footballer, but we just haven't really seen that consistently from him in a while, unfortunately. Kai, who's a United fan, said our owners just don't want to spend the money. Right, Doug, well, let's get on to talk about Wednesday, because a lot of people want to talk about the game against MK Dons, and Doug, the dugout, was asked, what's my team for Wednesday? The honest answer is, mate, I haven't got a clue. Actually, before I get to that, there's just one thing I want to talk about really, really quickly. And I'm sure you guys have seen this on social media as well. The only reason I've seen it is because Connor sent me a clip of it. But a thoroughly disgusting Chelsea fan interrupted an interview on a Chelsea fan channel called Blues TV and said, and this is a direct quote, Liverpool Football Club, they killed their own fans. And then interrupted again and said, they robbed from the dead. Now, I want to give credit to the lady that was presenting. She said, no, darling, no, and asked the camera person or whoever was filming to cut that out before it went out. Unfortunately, they didn't cut it out, and the segment did seem to go up, and it has rightly caused fury amongst not just Liverpool fans, but the football community in general. This is not me having a go at the channel. I don't know Blues TV, and as I said, the lady that was presenting the segment at the time just totally disagreed with the guy, and rightly so. And I'm not putting it on them, but the edit should have been edited before it went out. That's the only thing I'm going to say. But to that Chelsea fan, that's not a good look. Not only for Chelsea, it's not a good look for the Premier League. It's very disparaging, of course, towards Liverpool, and disgusting. And quite frankly, he can go fuck himself, and go fuck himself in a very big way. I'm not going to lump all Chelsea fans in with this idiot. I mean, it would be wrong of me to do so. But I also can't not address it because it's happened, and I'm sure you guys probably seen it. And this is the type of shit the sport doesn't need. It's the lowest of the low, and it's just a cheap shot, again, for somebody who's clearly frustrated because they lost the game. But I don't want to say that this is all Chelsea fans, because it absolutely isn't. I'm not having to go with Chelsea fans here. I can only talk about facts, and the facts are that this dickhead came on and was disgusting in his comments, and I just pretty much will leave it at that. Was it Sophie from CFC Fan TV? It was a lady. I thought the channel was called Blues TV, personally, from the little bit I read, but I don't know who the person's name was. But as I said again, she was not having it from this man, and rightly so. She was saying, no, darling, no. And then asked the camera person to cut that bit out, and correctly so, but unfortunately it didn't get cut out. Ian said, sadly, Bernardo Silva shouldn't have posted that picture in public. Now look at how many people are starting to hate him for no reason. I still see people being way too gullible, though. Yeah, again, and how do we talk about this incident with Bernardo Silva? So he put up I think a picture of a young Mendy, a young Benjamin Mendy, and I think it's a beloved cartoon character from Spain or something like that. I don't even know where this thing is from, and showed that he thought Mendy looked like this cartoon character. I'm sure he posted it in complete innocence, just saying that his mate looks like this character, and people have jumped on it and said that it was a racist act, and I don't think it was intended that way at all. But I'm not also the person to be able to draw the line here to say what is or isn't right or wrong. I will leave it for other people to judge, and I really don't. He came out and said that he thinks people are being too sensitive about it. I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said there, but it's not for me to judge. I'll leave it for other people to make their own judgments on it. I think it was definitely not done intentionally in a racist way. I've no belief whatsoever that was in any way Bernardo Silva's intention there, not at all. I also don't think if this was, say, somebody posting a young picture of Kevin De Bruyne beside a cartoon of Tintin, for instance, I don't think there would be anywhere near as much fume on social media, which can go to show some hypocrisy at times. I think a lot of the times when we're talking about racism, sexism, Islamophobia, religious hatred, hate speech, whatever it might be, it's about context. And it's about the way that the language was intended, or the way that the incident was intended. And I don't believe at all that Bernardo Silva intended that to be racially motivated. Not at all. I don't believe it. But as I said, I'm not the right person to make that decision. I can just give my opinion on it. It was Sophie, said Andrew. Channel rebranded. Thank you, mate. Salah only turns up to Champions League football. Premier League, he looks like Aaron Lennon, said James Sheldon. Very harsh, in my opinion, mate. I mean, he's obviously much better footballer than Aaron Lennon is, and he scored a ridiculous amount of goals in his first season, scored a high amount of goals last season as well, and I've no doubt he'll do very well this season. He's human. He'll have off days. I love Mohamed Salah. I love all of our front three. Cundy said our 15 wins on the spin has been lucky. Look, you know what I think of Jason Cundy. I don't like Jason Cundy one bit. Jason Cundy is a gobby little twat. And I don't give a fuck if he thinks our 15 wins on the spin have been lucky. And again, Neil, sorry mate, this isn't having to go with you. You know it isn't. You just know I don't like Cundy. So I'm just going to talk about him for a minute here because I like to vent. Look, Jason Cundy seems to have something against anything outside of London. And he's probably again a little bit bitter about losing yesterday in a game that Chelsea played very well in. Jason Cundy is a gobby little twat, and he says things to gain notoriety, and he's on that piece of shit radio station as well. And that is my opinion. I think it is a piece of shit radio station that is just there to provoke people. And look, that's his job, and I'm sure that his employers are probably quite happy that he provokes people. But it's also okay for me to sit here and say I think Jason Cundy's an asshole, and I don't really give a shit about anything that he has to say because to me he's irrelevant. They had to condemn it regardless, especially considering the outrage over racism on Twitter lately, said Irish James. Don't like Cundy, said Big Man Steve. I mean, what is there to like about him? The little dickhead doesn't really have any redeeming features. Ishmael said, Bernardo Silva, know your audience. If that's his and Mendy's kind of humour, that's absolutely fine, but do it in private because other folk won't necessarily get it. I think that's a very fair comment as well. Domingos said, said, I think our front three are untouchable. With little or no competition means they won't work hard, or they won't play at all. I get where you're coming from with the lack of competition, mate, but I think wanting to win things will spur them on, and wanting to go and lift that Premier League title will spur these boys on. And as I've said this before, it's not an individual sport. It's about the team. It's about the club. And I don't care how we win. I don't care if we win with the front three playing terribly, as long as we pick up the points, because I want Liverpool to win that Premier League title this season, like every single one of you guys. And the history books won't show who played well and who didn't in a particular game. It will show 3 points, the score, and the league table. And they will improve. I mean, our front three are amazing. Our front three have a tremendous understanding as well. So yeah, look, maybe they're not. Maybe Salah's not gone through his best period at the minute. That's okay. He's still amazing, and he'll come good. I back him. I back all of our front three. Who's Jason Cundy? Said Peter Van der Shans. He is a former Chelsea and Spurs player. who works for Talksport, who I call Talkshite, so but works the technical correct name is Talksport Radio in the UK, and just basically hates anything outside of London. Seems to be my opinion of it. But actually, he actually cheered on Manchester City, which kind of goes against what I said there. But he cheered on Manchester City when they played his former club Spurs, and celebrated that goal at the end that was ruled out for VAR. That just goes to show you what an asshole Cundy is like. He was celebrating against the club that he played for. Tintin is from Belgium, said John. Yes, I did know that, but that was probably just the easiest comparison I would make. It's an advertising character, said Brian Morrissey. Okay, I've no idea who the cartoon was, but thank you for that one, Brian. Did you see Keno owning Cara on Sky Sports? I did see him say, but you didn't win the league, if that's what you're talking about. And I like that about Roy Keane. I like that he has the balls to stand up and say what he wants and say what he thinks. It's always been one of the redeeming features about Keane that I have liked. I think it would be fun though watching him and Cara banter back and forth for a longer period. I mean, to see those two sit down on a show together, with Gary Neville sitting in the middle, giggling like a little schoolgirl as it goes on, I think would be quite fun to watch. Brian Morris said I wouldn't be touching this with a 10-foot pole. Well, we can't not though, Brian. That's the thing, mate. I mean, we've got to speak about these things. It's all opinion based at the end of the day, and I get where you're coming from, but as somebody who's spoken about this type of stuff on lots of streams, I can't just shy away from it. It happened. I have to talk about it. People can make up their own minds. As I've said, I don't believe it was racially motivated at all from Bernardo Silva, but it probably wasn't the most clever move, as people have pointed out. Sub counter not moving, says You'll Never Walk Alone. It's YouTube have changed the way it's done, mate. It only changes every 100 now. And if you were on a bigger channel than ours, like so say you had 100,000 subscribers, it would only change every 1,000. And if you had 1 million subscribers, it would only change every 10,000. So they've done it so it rounds up. So you won't see it change to 22,401 or whatever like that. But we would still like you to keep subscribing, ladies and gents. So if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a big thumbs up and keep your comments coming. What have we got? Craig, my team for the cup is Kelleher, Hoover, Lovren, Gomez, Larouci, Lallana, Jones, Keita, Brewster, Origi and Milner. What do you think? Said Scotty. It's going to be a tough one, mate. I mean, I've been struggling to try and think of who we will play. I want to see Ryan Brewster get a start. That's for certain. I would be amazed if Joe Gomez doesn't start. I don't know if he'll go with Kelleher. I think he'll probably keep Adrian, if I'm being honest about it. Who else? Keanu Hoover. Yeah, would love to see him get a run. I mean, I'd like to see a lot of these players get a run out. But at the same time, it is also important that we beat MK Dons on Wednesday. And whatever team Jurgen Klopp puts out, he'll put out with a belief that they will get the job done. And I hope that they do, because I want to see these players, these younger players or players on the fringe of the first team get these opportunities. But I also want to see Liverpool go far in competitions and try and win as many things as possible. So what do you guys think on it? What do you guys think about the team? Who would you like to see? Who do you think will play? And how strong do you think Liverpool will go on Wednesday against the MK Dons? LB426 said, are you like the United stand? Yeah, just a B-Tech version, mate, basically, of the United stand. I mean, the amount of times I get asked that. Similar type of thing, I suppose. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan channel. Mark and the United stand are obviously a United fan channel. But no, we're not the same, but we're not a million miles apart either. So it's a difficult question. But I like Mark. I like the United stand. Don't like the club, but Mark's a really nice fella. Been very helpful towards us and nothing but respect for him. Craig Adams said, why YouTube got to interfere is beyond me. They're worse than FIFA changing everything. It's nuts. I mean, a lot of YouTubers don't like it. Like, let's say you were on 990,000 and you were heading towards 1 million. You couldn't have that countdown. Do you know the countdown? You couldn't sit there watching the numbers tick over as you get towards 1 million. You'd have to just keep watching and hoping and hoping and hoping and hoping that you get towards 1 million. Or 100,000 or whatever the case might be. So it does take away a little bit from that point of view. But it is what it is, and we are where we are. Yeah, I don't like it. I would have preferred them to keep it the way it was, but I'm also thankful that they didn't kill off Social Blade, which a lot of us were worried about happening. Social Blade is what most of us use, by the way, for a live subscriber counts. It's what we use here on the channel for that number you're looking at there. Brewster has to start in the Carabao Cup, otherwise it's pointless him being in the first team squad, said Craig Adams. Luke said stick with all the kids and a couple of bench seniors. Yeah, I mean that's a fair shout as well. I think MK Dons are coming off a loss on Saturday in the league, if my memory serves me correct. I think they lost 1-0. I don't remember who it was against, but I think they did. What else is there? Keep your thoughts coming, by the way, on the Carabao Cup, ladies and gents, and we'll finish with a couple of other bits, but there's still half an hour or so to go, so lots of time. Strong bench reckons Ales. Strong bench, 9 changes. Brewster is a false 9. Harry Williams said 4-3-3 is the perfect Liverpool formation. What really annoys me is the theory that the last few seasons Liverpool have looked like a bubble ready to burst, but Klopp has turned some players I used to regard as garbage into solid players, said Jamie Murray. Yeah, it's Klopp's coaching has been incredible, mate. He has improved every player at the football club since he's been there. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit disappointed in the summer that we didn't make one or two more top level signings, but I also trust Jurgen Klopp implicitly, and the proof of the pudding will be in the eating this year, and we've got off to a great start. We're the first team in the history of the Premier League 2 seasons in a row to win our first 6 games. That doesn't really mean anything until you go on and win the title. We're on a 15 game winning streak. We're unbeaten at home in 2.5 years or something in the Premier League, and that's down to Klopp. So we're not a bubble that's ready to burst. Klopp said when he came in, I think paraphrasing again, said something like, I want to leave the club in a stronger position than when I got here. And there's no doubt that he will be doing that. Without a shadow of a doubt. He will have accomplished that goal anyway. I hope Sepp Vandenberg plays, said Sipsco. I'd love to see Sepp get a run out actually. That's a good shout, mate. Lallana and Oxlade-Chamberlain should start for a run, see how they go. I'd say Shaqiri's nailed on to start as well. Absolutely think we'll see Shaqiri starting. Soldier 1 said stick with a solid defence and change the rest. Mark 10 said FIFA the best awards. I don't know what you mean by that, Mark. I don't know if I'm trying to interpret what you're saying there, mate, but it'd be wrong of me to do so. Rod said all this Messi devotion is boring me a bit, to be honest, but that's just me. I'm also less fit than the so-called GOAT. Again, he is a wonderful, wonderful footballer, Lionel Messi, but I thought Van Dijk deserved to win it this year. I mean, I'm not putting Van Dijk in the same bracket as Messi because Messi's career has been sensational. But this year, I fully believe that Van Dijk was the best player in the world. Casper said, what was the reason we never signed anybody in the summer? I have no idea. I suppose, mate, some of it could have been down to the club trying to keep their finances in order. Some of it could have been down to Klopp's belief in the players that are already here and wanting to give the youngsters a pathway through to the first team. I guess we'll probably never know. Maybe some deals didn't come off. I'll be just guessing, Casper, mate. Need to give Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita a run. We need them to step up this season, said Krishna. Is Naby match fit? Not yet, I don't think, Aiden. Himself and Alisson are back in full training, but I don't think he'll be ready for Wednesday. Sipsco said I'll be upset if Shaqiri doesn't play. Paul Greaves, I echo your sentiments, said Jason Cundy's a wanker. Don't much care about the League Cup. We have bigger fish to fry. Feels great to be able to say that, said Ishmael. Yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. I mean, for me, the priority is Premier League, Champions League, and I would love to win the World Club Cup as well in December, I'm not going to lie, but it would be nice. I mean, winning trophies are winning trophies, and winning breeds winning, and winning breeds confidence, and winning is a mindset, so I think we should treat every trophy as seriously as we can. What's this? We could have Harvey Elliott on the right and Shaqiri on the left, said Armand, which is a good shout. And Harvey Elliott, did you see, was in the away end with the Liverpool fans for the Chelsea game, which was great to see. Iris James said, what's your opinion on the Club World Cup, Craig? Do you think we should send our second team and focus on the league or go all out for it? I want us to finally win it and get that sexy logo on the shirt. Well, I'm with you, James. I want us to win it as well. It's a competition that Liverpool have yet to win, and like you, I'd love that sexy goal badge on the shirt for the entirety of 2020. I'd say what will probably happen, and of course I'm just guessing here, is it's a maximum of 2 games for Liverpool. We go straight into the semi-final stage. Could possibly play against Xavi's team, actually, the team that he's managing. I think we'll probably see a weaker, not a weak, but a weaker team for the semi-final, with maybe the stronger players on the bench, and then the big boys for the final to try and get that trophy. And I really want it. As you said, we've never won it before. I'm trying to think of it as what would be our warm weather kind of training for the winter as well. So, always trying to put a positive spin on things. But yeah, I want to win that trophy, like you, mate. It's something we haven't won, and that badge would be just so damn nice on the Liverpool shirt. Scotty said, I don't see the point of Shaqiri if he doesn't play. I agree. I think this is a game that you would fully expect Shaqiri to start in. Casper said, when the Klopp say we'd have Alisson back in action, I don't know if he did give a definitive, Casper. Just know that he's back training along with Keita. Adam Smith said, what are your thoughts on Manchester United? It's a very open-ended question, Adam, mate. As a football club, of course I respect Manchester United. How could you not? You have got to respect their achievements and their accomplishments as a football club. A club that tried to do things in the right way, I will give them that credit. A club that behind the scenes has been very helpful, as Liverpool have to them over the years when tragedy has struck. But I don't want them to be successful. Of course I don't. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I think they're in a bit of a mess at the moment. And I said it at the time, Solskjaer shouldn't have gotten the job. He is tactically naive. He hasn't done anything to deserve that, in my opinion, to deserve that job. You got a bit of a bounce when he came in, and then it's all gone to shit. And it's not up to me to say Ollie in or Ollie out, but as long as United are floundering and not doing great, I'm fucking happy about it. But as I said, I do have an underlying respect for them because they are a very historic, good club. It's a begrudging respect, but it's a respect nonetheless. Sorry, my phone's lighting up like a Christmas tree here. Trying to see what's going on. Oh, sorry. Nothing too important. Scotty said, I think Alisson will be back after Sheffield United away. Apparently there's a report saying that Lewis Cook from Bournemouth is the long-term replacement for Milner. Interesting. Aidan Andrew said, Ollie failed the breathalyzer ages ago and he's still at the wheel. There was something else actually in my notes here I wanted to talk about. So, I'm not sure how many people know this. I'm sure a lot of English and Irish based people, or Scottish, English, Irish, Welsh, Scottish, Northern Irish based people probably know this. But Thomas Cook collapsed today. I think one of, if not the oldest travel company in the world, or travel agent in the world, and they collapsed. And the collapse of Thomas Cook will have an impact on some Liverpool fans as the club sells matchday hospitality packages through that company. Something that I personally think is I don't like it. I don't like the markup on them. Now, this isn't me having a dig at a company that are dead now, and it's not me having a dig at Liverpool. It's just, as a fan, I don't like the markup that are on these things. But Liverpool have put out a statement on this and said, we are aware Thomas Cook has ceased trading this morning. Thomas Cook sells 360 hospitality packages for each of our home games at Anfield. We're currently assessing the impact of Thomas Cook ceasing trading and the impact for those supporters who have purchased packages from Thomas Cook. Once we have those details from Thomas Cook, we will update supporters. And I'm sure that the club will keep everybody up to date. So keep an eye. If you're one of the people that have bought packages to Thomas Cook, I would suggest just keep an eye on the official club site, and they will give out details as and when they can, I'm sure. I think Manchester United have a similar relationship, or had a similar relationship with Thomas Cook. And if anybody's had a holiday that's been affected by Thomas Cook as well, just I think there's a dedicated website out there that is dealing with all the issues around Thomas Cook. I mean, a quick Google of it will probably give you the details. But yeah, it's never great to see. I think they're £1.7 billion in debt or something like that, and the British government are now having to repatriate all these people back, along with, of course, Thomas Cook and any other bits of help they can get, bring everybody back home. I think it's 150,000 people or something like that currently away through Thomas Cook. So a company that size collapsing, fuck me, it's It's not great news, and if anyone, as I said, has a holiday with them, or had a holiday with them, or is stranded, then please, I hope you get home safely and soon. Any podcast coming out, Casper? You love the podcast, mate, don't you? I love doing them as well. Cash has just moved recently. She's relocated down to London, so I'm hoping to, I want to give Cash time. Dave, I will get on, and Doug, I will get on. But yeah, we'll get something together soon, mate. But even myself, my own life's a bit hectic at the minute, so I'll get one out as soon as I can, Casper, mate. Thomas Cook made 9.5 billion in revenue last year. It's scary what can happen if you're not run properly. Wow. Jeez, that is a lot of wedge, isn't it? It's a lot of turnover. Arman said Mane got a bad injury. Not 100% certain yet, mate, as to the extent of it. Klopp spoke earlier on saying that he picked up a dead leg and a knock around the bone area of his knee. But after that, I don't know. I haven't got any further information, mate, so it would be wrong of me to give out false news. Scotty said, I've paid £1,000 for 4 tickets for Napoli at home, said Scotty. Was that through Thomas Cook, mate? If it was, then of course I would suggest, mate, that you just email the club, and I'm sure they'll be in contact anyway. But that's a lot of money for 4 tickets. I'm not a fan of, and I'm not having to go with Thomas Cook here, I'm not a fan of all the travel agents selling all these marked up. It happens in Ireland here. There's a few companies that do it as well, sell ridiculously inflated packages. But that's the world that we live in, and as much as we as fans don't like it, it happens. Turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, as the old saying goes, said Stephen Booker. Did Thomas Cook go into administration? No, they're gone, Casper. They've ceased trading. They're no longer a company, not even administration. They're just gone. All flights grounded, all staff laid off. I think they're paying out 1 week's salary up to a maximum of 12 years. I think the maximum is about $6,000 or something like that. They're paying out with regards to redundancies. That was the last I'd heard anyway. Not the government, the poor taxpayer is footing the bill, said Colin Douglas. Man United fans have started booking holidays with Thomas Cook, knowing they won't be back until next season, said Brian Kelly. Rodgers talking about the kit deal with Nike. There's been lots of stuff coming out today about it, mate. Now, as you know, I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I haven't seen what's been going around on there. I've just been doing my own little searches here and there, and I've been sent a few bits by people. So, well, whatever's best for the club. I just want whatever deal is best for Liverpool Football Club, and if that's with Nike, and if it is rumoured to be more than £75 million a year, then that's a massive amount of money for the club, isn't it? M. Shaq said, why did Messi win it? Should have been Van Dijk. Messi won it. I don't know why, mate. I'm just saying Messi won it. Delete it, Brian is saying. I don't know what you mean. Brian, sorry, I don't know if you're talking to me there. If you use a disposable email, I was going to... What's this? If you use a disposable email, if I was going to give it out in public chat. If you... I don't know, again, John, you've lost me there. A couple of friends who are abroad are saying that people are kicking people out of their hotels. I'd seen some stories, mate. I think one I'd heard of was a hotel in Tunisia who were basically saying that, pay us out of your own pocket or we're putting you out. And my wife was telling me the story of, I think, an 80-year-old lady, and I'm not sure where she was on holidays, that had to pay $2,000 or she was going to be turfed out of a hotel. And these are people who had already fully paid for the holidays, clearly. And I don't know exactly how the atoll protection works and stuff like that, but the advice that I keep hearing from everybody is do not pay. Do not pay the hotels. Do not pay any more money out of your pockets. But if you're in that situation, if you've got somebody who has a disability, if you've got young kids, if you've got somebody who's unwell, you just want reassurance at this point. You just want safety. And I hope all those people affected get home safely. Will I stream tomorrow? No, mate, I don't do streams on Tuesday. Tuesday's the day I see my psychologist, and I have a lot to get through tomorrow after the last week or so. So, no, I definitely won't be streaming tomorrow, but I will be streaming for the game on Wednesday against the MK Dons. Don't worry about that. Also, as Doug is saying, there's been an announcement there as well, and thank you, Doug, for reminding me. It is here in my notes. LFC Legends will be playing against Rangers Legends at Ibrox on Saturday, October the 12th. The Reds will be captained by Stevie G and will also feature Cara, Paddy Berger, Luis Garcia, Jason McAteer, and many, many more players. So if you can get to that, if that's something that floats your boat, then look out for the details of when tickets go on sale. They may have already put that out. I haven't seen that information myself. But again, just to reiterate, Liverpool Legends will be playing against Rangers Legends at Ibrox on Saturday, October the 12th. So anybody who's interested in that, keep an eye out for tickets. Do you think it's a higher chance for Van Dijk to win the Ballon d'Or now because Messi won today? I've no idea. It's 1-1. That much we can say. Wolf time 666, mate. It's 1-1, one award each. I've no idea what's gonna happen. I thought he would have won today, but Messi won the award. Congratulations to him. Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens for the Ballon d'Or. Basile said Van Dijk robbed. Or Basil. What did I say? Basile. Is it Basile? Basile Al Safar. Excuse me, mate, if I mispronounced your name. I tried my best. Said Van Dijk robbed. I feel he should have won it, but I am biased as a Liverpool fan. Dugout said, guys, I've heard the reason why Shaqiri hasn't been playing. Apparently he hasn't been training really hard to focus on a new position. Or apparently he has been training really hard to focus on a new position, the James Milner position, which suggests Klopp thinks Milner can't play that much. Interesting. You always get loads of theories out there, mate, but you never know what to believe. Shaqiri didn't obviously go away with Switzerland during the international break, stayed at Liverpool to focus on training, which from our point of view is a good thing. I know a lot of Liverpool fans want to see more of Shaqiri, so I guess he will get his game time as the season progresses, because around 70 games or so this season, lots of games to play. Happily Egg said, Craig, I'm just going to wash my Ballon d'Or out. I've got a hot day tomorrow. You're probably best to do it, so Happily Eggs. Big up Paddy Burger said, Shankly Spirit. Finn Kavanagh said, hey Craig, how's my man going? I'm tickety boo, thanks Finn. I'm all good, buddy. I hope you are as well. How could you not love being a Liverpool fan at the moment, mate? You know what I mean? 6 out of 6 in the Premier League, 15 in a row, European champions, awards being collected left, right and centre. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, mate, but I hope you're keeping well. Irish James, what's your thoughts on Nike sponsoring our kits? Again, not sponsoring, manufacturing. I keep seeing that word being misused around, and look, it's just me being pedantic about that, so don't mind me, James. I want whatever's best for Liverpool Football Club, and if that's Nike, it wouldn't be my own personal preference. I prefer New Balance or Adidas, but it's whoever pays the most money, and Nike could potentially open some doors as well for Liverpool with regards to Nike athletes or potential new signings. But whatever happens, we're going to be looking at a shit ton of money for this next set of kit manufacturer deal. Over the 75 million mark is what seems to be doing the rounds, but I guess the details will come out in due course. JDB said, Craig, Bernardo Silva is disgraceful. Watch the video he's made and you'll be shocked. I haven't seen a video, mate. I've seen the cartoon character thing, but I will look out for that video, mate. Thank you. FIFA Best is an award voted for by fans, journalists and former players. Messi won the fans and players vote, and Van Dijk won the journo vote. Ballon d'Or is decided by journos. Is it just journalists that vote for the Ballon d'Or? Again, excuse my ignorance. I thought it might have been journalists, club captains, international captains and managers, no? But again, thank you for letting me know that information, mate. And Brian, no worries, mate. I've seen your message there as well. What do you think about our next game against Sheffield United? Well, the next league game, it's going to be fucking tough, man. I hate 12:30 kickoffs, Finn. Sheffield United are going to be on a high, obviously after beating Everton 2-0 away from home in a game that, Everton actually probably deserved to win. I think we'll get the win. I don't like the early kickoffs. I think you'll see a weakened team put out intentionally on Wednesday, obviously, but a team that Jurgen Klopp feels can beat MK Dons. But for me, it's about the Premier League, and it's never going to be easy going to Bramall Lane. But we should be good enough to beat Sheffield United. So I'm going for a win for us, of course, and we'll cover it in more detail as the week goes on. But what about you, Finn, mate? What are you feeling? Jack Spade said Shaqiri didn't go on international break because he was pissed off at Xhaka for not being captain. Whatever that reason might have been, it was put out that it was because he wanted to concentrate on Liverpool. So we'll go with the more Liverpool-centric positive spin on it, Jack. Craig, what's your favourite Only Fools and Horses episode? Mine is the Hullenbach. Time on Our Hands. Mate, Time on Our Hands, where they find the clock that makes them all the money, or the watch that makes them all the money. Yeah, that one. It was actually probably one of the more emotional episodes for me. But so many to choose from, isn't there? Basile said, we're coming after your winning streak, Manchester City, and your Premier League title. Damn right we are, mate, to both. We're 3 away from Manchester City's 18 wins in a row record. We're currently tied in second place with Manchester City as well, who had 15 wins in a row. I'd rather we win the Premier League than that record, to be honest. But 3 games to go, 3 more wins. It would be nice to do it, but big picture stuff. It's all about winning or trying to win the league this year. Craig Adams said that's actually a good idea. New Balance to make the kit and Nike as our sponsors. That would be a conflict of interests beyond belief, I'm sure, mate. Callum said Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 3. Brian Morrissey said fuck that 12:30 shit. I hate those early kickoffs. They always scare the bejesus out of me. I don't know why. I don't even have any proof if we've had any negative results or if it's had a negative impact on us. I just don't like those early kickoffs. When was the last time Liverpool faced Sheffield United? Jeez, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Quite a while ago, I'd imagine. There's a few more things I just want to check. Done that. Yeah, no, I think I've gone through all my notes. Right, so we've 10 minutes to go, ladies and gents. Anything else you want to talk about, please do keep your comments coming. Well, what do I think of Brendan Rodgers' time at Liverpool? I think I covered this earlier on. I know we spoke about Rodgers earlier on. I think it came at the wrong time from too early in his career. I think he definitely made mistakes. He threw people under the bus. He said some ridiculous stuff at times. He was cringy. But he did give us a tremendous run in that 13-14 season. Then we had Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling, Gerrard in behind, playing really, really well. But in Europe, he was shocking. And I'll never, ever, ever understand why he didn't play Gerrard away in Madrid. That was just fucking ridiculous. So all in all, it wasn't... Overall, I won't remember his time at Liverpool too fondly. But I think it was just too early in his career. That's one thing I will say. But he needs to stop throwing people under the bus. He did that too often at Liverpool. What's this? Conceived by sports writer Gabriel Ano, the Ballon d'Or award honours the male player deemed to have performed the best over the previous year based on voting by football journalists. John Hamilton wrote that, and he said from 1956 to 2006 the award was decided by journalists. After 2007, coaches and captains of national teams were also given the right to vote. So I wasn't a million miles off then. So there you go. Yeah, once you put fans involved, it's it gets a bit iffy, because we know from first hand Liverpool fans have fucked up a load of votes. I mean, Lucas Leiva won Lazio Player of the Year. And maybe Messi fans done it this time for Lionel Messi, and you know what, either way he won it, and I'm just going to say again, congratulations to him. Rod said, I love those early kickoffs because I can watch them before falling to sleep around midnight. And yes, mate, I mean, I got to be fair, there are people all around the world that make tremendous sacrifices. When we were over in Tampa, for instance, meeting up with the Tampa Bay supporters over there, I know some of the sacrifices that the American fans make. For instance, I mean, really early kickoffs. The game against Newcastle was a 7:30 a.m. kickoff over there. So if you're travelling to a supporters club or a bar or a venue as well, you're talking about getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock at times to travel, and that is dedication. So for me to sit here and moan about a 12:30 kickoff is an absolute first world problem, I know. The dugout said Sheffield United 4-0 at Anfield. It was the last time we played them. Ishmael said Liverpool versus Sheffield United 24th February 2007 4-0. Yes, I looked it up. Well, I appreciate you looking it up, and Doug as well. Finn said, alright, the Premier League I want, it'll be my first Premier League. They won it, and maybe the Club World Cup. Yeah, Finn, the Club World Cup would be class, as we said, because you get that sexy ass gold badge that Real Madrid currently have if you win it on your shirt for a year. And that would look very damn nice on that Liverpool jersey. My first ever Liverpool game was Liverpool 4 Sheffield United 0 in February 2007, said the dugout. Well, there you go. A game that you'll never forget. It's always good to get a win as well, isn't it, Doug, in your first game? Lee Newman says Ronaldo was better than Messi and VVD. Look, I don't put VVD in the same category as Messi and Ronaldo over the whole of their careers. But from my opinion, Messi is better than Ronaldo. But again, this is just a never-ending debate, I suppose, made between fans and how they see things and what you like in a player. I would be Messi over Ronaldo. A lot of people are the other way, and I respect both opinions because they are two absolutely tremendous footballers. I mean, the greatest two of the generation. Casper has gone for Liverpool to beat MK Dons 3-0. Brian Morris, he said, before Brandon took over at Liverpool, he had won 12 Premier League matches. 12. He was learning on the job, and Liverpool is no place for people learning on the job. It definitely is, mate. I'll give you that one, Brian. I'll agree with you on that one. We may disagree on a lot of things from time to time, buddy, but yeah, you don't want managers learning on the job at Liverpool for sure. Do you remember though, it was Roberto Martinez was pictured having coffee with John W. Henry over in Boston, and a lot of people thought it was going to be Roberto Martinez, and I think Rodgers originally turned down the job in the first place. I think he wanted more control than was originally being put on offer to him, but he ended up taking the job, and what happened. Luck said Neil Warnock blamed Rafa for fielding a weakened team at Fulham for getting Sheffield United relegated. Rafa did what he thought was best for Liverpool Football Club, and you don't get relegated from one game. So Warnock, I can understand why he'd be angry and bitter about it, but you're relegated over the course of a season, that one game. Do I remember Dirk Kuyt? Of course I do. I love Dirk Kuyt. I mean, Dirk Kuyt was the epitome of somebody who would give 100% for the badge week in and week out. Love the guy. Never didn't give 100% in the Liverpool shirt. Wasn't the greatest player to ever wear a Liverpool shirt, but works as hard as any Liverpool player that's ever worn that shirt, and that wins over a lot of fans. And Dirk Kuyt will always be remembered very fondly by Reds. Joanne Fisher said, I'm out in the afternoon on Saturday, so will be able to do both this weekend. I'm out in the afternoon Saturday, so we'll be able to do both this weekend. Hope you get to watch the game, Joanne, anyway. That's the most important thing. Shankly Spirit said, big up Luis Garcia, true G. Yeah, I love Luis Garcia. He's always bigging up the Reds, which is good to see. Finn Kavanagh said, I want to bet with you that Ollie will get sacked by Christmas. Fiver deal. So you want me to bet that Ollie won't be sacked by Christmas? Alright, I'll take your bet, Finn. I'll take your little friendly £5 bet, mate. I think he'll see out the season before they sack him. But I do think he will go at the end of the season. But yeah, happy to do that, buddy. The Dugout said, we drew 1-1 last time at Bramall Lane. Rob Hull scored for Sheffield United and Robbie Fowler scored a penalty after Stevie G was fouled by Craig Morgan, and Neil Warnock was raging at Rob Styles. Yeah, Warnock rages quite a lot, doesn't he? As a rager myself, as somebody who gets angry, yeah, I can see it in Warnock. Was Brendan Rodgers our first choice to get the job? I can't say. I think at the time he was the leading candidate, but I also think that Brendan Rodgers. I also think that Jurgen Klopp was always top of Fenway Sports Group's list, always, and they got him in the end. And thank goodness, because I still pinch myself that Klopp was the manager of this football club. Ishmael said, I remember Martinez being linked. That's why I was pleased when Rodgers got the job. I really, really didn't want Martinez, the other charlatan. Craig, I've been to every Merseyside derby at Anfield and Goodison since 2012, said Callum. Nice one. I've been forced to go to a few derbies myself. I was at the 4-0, the one where Lukaku did his ACL, and we battered him 4-0 at a very, very important time, because Everton looked like Everton and Liverpool were going to be challenging for that 4th Champions League spot. And to batter them 4-0 was great. I was also at the 1-1 game where Jagielka scored the screamer of an equaliser for Everton that they absolutely didn't deserve. So I've had a mixed bag, mate, when it comes to derbies, but thankfully not seen a loss, because we don't really lose too much to the Blues, to be fair. Is it true that Mourinho went for the job and Rafa got it? From what I've read and heard over the years, mate, yes. It was between Rafael Benitez and Jose Mourinho for the Liverpool job. Back when Rafa got it, and the club went with Rafa, and I believe, again, I think Carragher might have spoken about this a while back or at the time. I think Jose wanted the Liverpool job. He might never admit that, and it may not be true, but I think it was between those two for the job. I think that is fair to say. Do you think Klopp will get Shaqiri even better like he did with Fabinho? I think Klopp will improve Shaqiri, Paul. Yes, he seems to improve every player. I just see Shaqiri as an impact sub personally, but somebody who definitely can change a game with one strike of that wonderful foot of his. Also, I want to finish up, actually, if I may, by raising something that I heard a pundit on television talking about with regards to Mohamed Salah, and I can't remember who this might have been, but I want to get your opinion on it. the basically the context of what was said was that Mohamed Salah needed to drop back more and offer more protection to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that he's leaving Trent a little bit exposed. And against Chelsea, that allowed that ball over to Marcus Alonso time and time again on their left hand side, our right hand side. So I just want to get a quick thought before we finish up from people on, do you think maybe we need to see a little bit more tracking back from Mohamed Salah, or perhaps is he under instruction from Jurgen Klopp to stay forward and not to track back, maybe because of that lightning pace of his? This isn't me having a go at Mo. I love Mo. I just found it interesting when somebody mentioned this. Maybe it was Mourinho. Might have been Mourinho that mentioned it. But I just want to get people's thoughts on that to finish up with tonight, because as I said, I won't be here tomorrow. I don't do late night agendas on Wednesdays or Tuesdays because of personal reasons. So on Wednesday I'll be back with the Watchalong, so I just thought I'd bring this up before I forget. Pretty sure it was Souness or Craig Burley said the dugout. I think it was on Sky anyway, if I remember, Doug. Did you ever hear the Carragher story of Mourinho showing him the wallpaper on his phone? Yes, that's kind of where I was going with that, Ishmael. Carragher may have been kidding, but who knows? Yes, I did hear that exact story, that he did have a Liverpool crest or Liverbird as his phone wallpaper, mate. Yeah, definitely heard it. Whether it's true or not, I guess, we may never know. Do I think the Sheffield derby is underrated? Well, there won't be a Sheffield derby this year, will there? Because Sheffield United are in the Premier League and Sheffield Wednesday aren't. Any derby, you got to give credit and respect to any derby, mate, because it means the world to the fans, and that's what it's about. So I'll respect any derby, and the Sheffield derby, I'm sure the Steel City derby is as fierce as most others. Scotty said, I feel he drops back, but did notice I think Mo's been told to stay forward for pace. Craig Adams said, I thought Trent coped brilliantly against Chelsea. Harry Williams said, we've seen Mo Salah track back in a few games, but not at all. It wasn't against Barca or Bayern last year. He ended up in the left back position and won the ball back. Track back is not his game, said Malcolm Fielding. I think the idea is for Mo and Sadio to stay up the field and pin the opposition fullbacks in their own half. There's definitely something to that as well. Particularly from corners and stuff, I always like to see Liverpool leave a player or two forward because, as you said, it does give them something to think about, and it does mean that the attacking team has to pull a few players back to protect. How long has Genie got left on his contract, said Jack's Page. I'm sure somebody can have a quick Google of that, mate. I don't know off the top of my head. That comment about Mo Salah came from Graham Lasso from NBC Sport. That isn't where I would have heard it, Casper, mate. I wouldn't have heard it from NBC, but maybe Graham Lasso said that as well. I'm fairly sure it was from Sky that I heard it, but again, I can't say for certain because my memory's shocking. Brian Morrissey said, no nonsense, no tactic is perfect, and that's our trade-off. Salah can't change his game. Klopp gambles on the high line now because VAR will help us. Irish James said Chris Wilder's a fantastic manager, but he's certainly done a great job. He's done a great job at Sheffield United, you can't argue about that. Sheffield United fans were class when they won at Goodison, said Callum. And Soldier 1 said, now Fabinho's a wall, maybe he's allowed to bomb forward more without tracking back. I said, I don't know. This is just a genuine question about something that was raised by a pundit. It isn't my opinion. I just wondered what other people thought about it. Finn, talk to you soon, buddy. Remember when people said VAR would screw us the most? Yes, I mentioned that during yesterday's watch-along as well, mate. People kept saying Liverpool are fucked when VAR comes in, that we got away with so much, so many offside goals, so many dives. Hasn't hurt us one bit yet, has it? In fact, we'll probably get more decisions we should have. And even at that, Matip should have had a penalty in a recent game where he was literally manhandled and we didn't get it, even with VAR. Craig, did you see the Juventus Atletico Madrid draw? De Ligt is useless and came to Juventus for money only. I didn't see the game, no. Was it 2-2? I think it finished. But no, I didn't get a chance to see it. I seen the highlights of it, but didn't see the game itself. Ross said, to be honest, Craig, as a Liverpool fan, I'd obviously want Big Virg to win, but you can't take anything away from Messi. His 51 goals for Barcelona this season. Nevertheless, love the vids, man. You'll never walk alone. Ross, mate, I respect your opinion. And Messi is fantastic, mate. There's no doubt about it. 51 goals is a crazy amount, and a crazy amount of assists as well. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's the best player of our generation. I just feel, mate, and this is just my opinion, what does it affect if Van Dijk doesn't win, say, the Ballon d'Or? What will we have to do to see the next defender win the Ballon d'Or? I mean, I think Cannavaro was the last one. But I'm never in any way trying to take away from Lionel Messi, because he's a wonderful, wonderful player. I've said that time and time again. So yeah, I respect your opinion, Ross, and thank you, mate, for your comments. Harry Williams said, whoever plays centre mid protects the fullbacks and Fabinho protects the centre back. Watch any game when they go forward, you'll see them dropping in if they can't contribute. Yeah, often at times you'll see Fabinho or any central defensive mid split the centre backs as well to allow the fullbacks to go forward. You'll see those basically drop to a back three then. We've changed our defensive and offensive tactics, said Callum. Yeah, we definitely seem to be playing a higher defensive line now, even though I think it's something Klopp has denied on a couple of occasions. He seems to be trusting both VAR and his defensive line to get it right in those major decisions. Brian Morris said the Steel City Derby is something that should be Premier League. Yeah, two great clubs, two absolutely great clubs, both of them. Craig Adams said, still mad at the Napoli penalty. The guy was falling before he reached Robbo. Yeah, and his head was tilted back as well, ready to go. I agree, never a penalty for me. Craig deserves a statue at Anfield when he's sitting in his throne. I think, mate, it would be eggs and covered in graffiti within 20 minutes. Arsenal got top billing on Match of the Day 2 last night, for fuck's sake, said Lux. It was a pretty crazy game, to be fair. Plus, if you keep Liverpool to later on, you'll probably get a lot more views, because Liverpool fans will stay on to watch. But it was a great result for Arsenal after going 1-0 down and down to 10 men. It did show a set of balls to come back and win that game 3-2. Callum said, I think the high line's affecting VVD. What do you think of Jason Cunley on TalkSport? I don't like him one bit, Eugene, mate. I just really can't stand the fella. I'm not even going to use bad language to describe him anymore, because I enjoy using bad language so much that using it with him just feels like I'm wasting something that I like doing on an idiot that I don't like. So no, not for me. Don't like Cunley. Don't like TalkSport, actually, if I'm being quite honest. When Colin Murray did what he did, I was so proud, as I'm sure many Liverpool fans around the world were. How do you feel about the former Madrid players in the FIFA Pro 11? I'm fuming. Shouldn't have been in there, Ross. Mate, I agree with you. I mean, how can Bernardo Silva not have been in that 11? It just doesn't make any sense. We could talk Salah, we could talk Mane, but trying to be unbiased and fair about it, I 100% agree with you, Ross. It was ridiculous. Like, how the fuck was Marcelo in there, for instance? I mean, Madrid did nothing. Not even past the last 16. Didn't win the league in Spain. For four of them to be in there, I agree with everybody who's angry about it. I just feel, and I try to be as honest as I can when I give my assessment, how the fuck Bernardo Silva wasn't in there is a disgrace. Whatever about other positions, you're right. There should have been, the former Madrid players probably shouldn't have been in there. Ross, your comments have been really good tonight, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to put in such thoughtful, some thoughtful, comment-provoking stuff, mate. Sorry, I'm struggling for words because I'm starting to tire now because it's been a long stream. I think people are getting behind VVD too much this year and going past him, said Callum. I think VVD's amazing, mate. I just wonder how much of an impact now having Alisson will have had psychologically on our back four. I spoke earlier on about how brilliant Adrian has been, and he has, but Alisson Becker, he is not. And I think when Alisson comes back, it will give a boost to the other players around him. How long left on the stream? I'm going to finish up now in the next minute or two, actually, Callum. FIFA or PES, will you like to play FIFA? I would pick FIFA over Pro Evo, Eugene, or I think it's just called PES now, isn't it? And I might do. People keep asking me to play FIFA 20, and I probably should, I've no reason not to. We do have a PlayStation that in the gaff here, so yeah, I might do it this season. I have to look into it. It's been so long since I played FIFA. I don't even know all the new little factors like about FIFA Ultimate and all that stuff. I mean, I'm complete gobshy when it comes to that. I mean, I know nothing, but I think it would be fun to stream some FIFA because I get angry watching the TV, so I can only imagine how angry I get playing FIFA. Alisson won't just replace Adrian that easy. He'll walk straight into the team, to be fair, Callum. He is just tonight after winning the FIFA Best Goalkeeper of the Year award. And as good as Adrian has been, Alisson is the number one, and he'll walk back into that position. Bagsy said, if Alisson still wins the Golden Glove this season, it just shows his class. Cracking stream. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. And why not finish up on a positive like that for me? Thank you. Ladies and gents, as always, I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you guys tonight. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do hit that button and help us grow this son of a bitch. Give us a thumbs up on the stream as well. And if you're watching this on playback later on, love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, I really appreciate your time and your support of the channel. It means the world to myself and Connor. Again, if you do want to get in touch with me, there's no point in doing it on Twitter anymore because I've knocked Twitter on the head. We're just posting up clips on the Twitter account now. And Instagram's run by Connor. So if you can get me on here, you can see the email address for the channel as well. Final shout out to Serendipity Furniture for this wonderful, wonderful throne that I'm sitting on. There is a link in the stream description below to Serendipity Furniture. If you want to get in contact with them, they can make you any chair you want. They're that damn talented. Ladies and gents, again, thank you. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. I won't be here tomorrow. I will see you guys on Wednesday for the MK Dons game. Love to you all, and up the motherfucking Reds.